Hi, it's Mrs. Morin, and my lesson today is about using math drawings to compose rectangles with square tiles. So what I need you to do is to go get some paper and scissors, and you're going to draw this rectangle A on the paper, and you can pause the video until you've done that, and then join me again. So after you draw rectangle A on your paper, we're going to cut out each row. And so let's remember what rows are. They go horizontally. So you're going to cut your rows, 2 rows right there, right? You're going to put a cut. Now let's look at our tiles and see what it looks like. And you can compare your work to my work. So here's rectangle A. And you can see I have the 2 rows, row 1 and row 2. So I have 4 plus 4 equals 8. We know we have 8 tiles. So let's go back to our lesson and let's put those numbers in. Okay, we have 2 rows. We know there's 4 squares. 2 rows of 4 is going to give me 8. And we know that we had 8 tiles or 8 squares. So rectangle A has 8 squares. So now let's go on. I need you to draw another rectangle B on the paper, and then cut it out by column. So let's remember what columns are. I'm going to show you. So to cut it by column, we're going to go vertically. That way, you're going to make your cuts. Okay, you can pause the video and come back to me when you're done. So let's go to our tiles and see. Now here's rectangle B. So if you cut it vertically, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns of 2 each. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. It's going to be 8. So let's go back to our lesson and put in our numbers. So how many columns did rectangle B have? It had 4. How many columns? How many squares in each column? It had 2. So I know that I had 4 columns of 2 each, which is 8. 4 columns of 2 each equals 8. So rectangle B has 8 squares also, which we can tell by looking at it too. So now let's go on to the next thing I need you to do. I want you to take rectangle A and rectangle B, and I want you to cut them up into squares. So now you're going to have 16 squares. And we're going to put them in different ways and look at them. Okay, so you can stop the video and cut them up and then come back. And hopefully you cut them up, and let's look now, how can we put them together into rectangles? So the first way is we could put them 2 rows, row 1, row 2, 8 plus 8, but now we have 16. 2 groups of 8, 8 plus 8 equals 16, or we can put them in columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns of 2, so we could write 2 plus 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 2, but it's still going to be 16. So whether I do 2 groups of 8 or 8 groups of 2, I'm still going to have the 16. So let's go back to our lesson and put those numbers in here, what they look like when I put them together. So I constructed a new rectangle using all 16 squares. Now my first one had 2 rows of 8. So I had 16. All right. My second one had 8 columns of 2, and that's 16. Now let's look at the repeated equation for the first one. So 2 groups of 8. So I had 8 plus 8 equals 16. The second one is 2 plus 2, and I'm going to have to do that 8 times, right? Because I had 8 groups, and they both equal 16. So when we put them together, we can do it in different ways, whether it's 2 rows of 8 to equal 16 or 8 columns of 2 to equal 16. So thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.